Hi everyone, and welcome back. In the last episode, we explored just how dangerous the world is for butterflies. Hungry predators, fires, storms. It is basically the insect version of an action movie. Today we ask the big question: how on earth do juvenile butterflies survive long enough to become adults? Now it is time to get some insight into the unbelievable creativity that nature enjoys to strike a balance. It takes planning, it takes preparation, and believe it or not, it takes some very sneaky, very smart strategies. So let's dive in. Imagine this: you've got a survival rate of less than 1%, excluding human threats. Not great odds. So what do butterflies do? The same thing lottery players do: increase the number of tickets. Most butterflies lay dozens, sometimes hundreds of eggs. Some species lay up to 500 eggs. That alone bumps up their survival chances hugely. But there's a catch. A single passing herbivore, a wandering ant, or even one ravenous sibling can wipe out the whole batch in seconds. So, many butterfly moms use a smarter strategy: lay eggs one at a time or in small clusters. This spreads the risk. If something eats one leaf, it doesn't eat all the babies. Some females even check leaves carefully. If there's already an egg from another butterfly, she'll avoid that plant entirely. No overcrowded nursery drama. And of course, camouflage helps. Butterfly eggs often look like tiny dewdrops, plant bumps, or just disappear into leaf veins. Good luck spotting those. Once the tiny caterpillar hatches, mom is long gone, and it's on its own. And remember, everyone wants to eat a juicy caterpillar. So what's a kid to do? The first lesson: don't get blown away. Caterpillars spin little silk pads to anchor themselves, so a gust of wind doesn't send them flying into danger. They have simple eyes and sensors that pick up smell, vibration, and even a bit of sound. By swaying from side to side, they can build up a visual field of their surroundings, albeit a very coarse image. No HD vision here, just enough to tell shadow of predator from safe sunshine. Many caterpillars avoid daytime hunters by staying hidden until nightfall. When darkness hits, it's feeding frenzy time. They eat like teenagers at a buffet, fast and messy, to grow out of the vulnerable stage as quickly as possible. Some caterpillars don't just hide, they build. Some slice and fold leaves into tiny tents. Some dig into leaf rolls or hideouts made earlier in life. Others build a little poo stalk to sit safely away. These shelters keep them safe from birds, spiders, and curious ants. If you can't hide in something, hide as something. This can be achieved by camouflage, and here the techniques are endless. Some look like bird droppings, others like twigs or dead leaves. Some even take on the shape and color of the leaf they are sitting on, with patterns to match. A few brave ones decide that it is best to appear like a predator and can resemble spiderwebs. Some species are so convincing that predators walk right past them without a clue. Some caterpillars come covered in hairs and spines. These aren't just for looks. They make it difficult for ants and other predators to reach the tender body underneath. When hairs aren't enough, caterpillars get dramatic. Some large caterpillars puff up like a small snake, sway side to side, and display big fake eyes. Others simply appear intimidating. It's all bluff, but if it scares a lizard just long enough, that's a win. Other species, hire bodyguards. They pay ants with droplets of sweet honeydew, which they trigger by stroking the caterpillar over and over again. The ants love this sugary reward and fiercely defend their client, chasing off predators. A whole group of butterflies in the blues family use this technique in one way or another. Some, just after emerging from the egg, mimic the smell, pheromones, of the ant's brood and get picked up and carried into the ant's nest, where they stay among the brood. Some crawl out at night to feed on leaves, but others are being fed by the ants. This is called mimicophily, or ant association. Not all these relationships are symbiotic relationships, where both sides benefit. Some are downright nasty and feed on the ant's brood, real nasty buggers. And in this case, it is a parasitic relationship. These interactions remain one of nature's most fascinating alliances. If trickery doesn't work, caterpillars simply bail out. Now, having a soft, crawling body with artificial legs is not a benefit when trying to run, so jumping off the leaf may be the answer. But some leaves are a bit high, and falling is as bad as being eaten. No problem, just use a rope to rappel down to earth. They excrete a thin silken thread from which they hang. The predator is left staring at an empty leaf, while the caterpillar dangles safely below, and then slowly climbs up when the danger has passed. Some species release terrible, foul-smelling chemicals when threatened. Imagine a skunk, but tiny. If that isn't enough, they may push out brightly colored horns, called osmeteria, releasing a strong scent. It's like saying, "Back off, I taste disgusting." Some butterflies have caterpillars that are gregarious, living together for most of their life. This is especially an advantage where the caterpillar is toxic, making sure the bird only takes one bite. The rest of the group survives thanks to that one unlucky volunteer. So, what to do if the above fails? One way is to thrash about using your body. Such rapid, violent movement may just startle or confuse a hungry lizard or a predatory wasp that wants to lay an egg inside you. Of course, prevention is a better approach, so eating some toxic plants and then advertise your status is a very effective way of keeping baddies away. These caterpillars generally have vivid coloration, red and yellow and green and black patterns. Remember Joseph's dreamcoat. To make sure the predator understands that eating it may cause severe discomfort. This technique is often found in the animal world, from frogs to butterflies, and is called aposematic coloration, advertising your toxic nature. But there are cheats. We'll discuss them in a future video. After surviving the world as a caterpillar, the next phase is a tricky one. During this phase, it will be static, with no option of running away, offering illusions, wiggle, or anything like that. A little pre-planned self-preservation is generally the first step. So, the best defense, location and camouflage. The final instar caterpillar mostly starts off by moving away from its host plant. This has a number of advantages, such as not being around his siblings who may be attracting danger more easily. It does, however, expose him to predators more readily, as he often is not protected by growth and camouflage, but finding a still spot may still be better than being amongst the hive of activity of his siblings. The first step is, of course, to find a suitable spot. Some attach their rear end to a branch, create a little girdle to hang from, and then, hanging like a dry twig, they shed their outer skin and ends up in a new skin which rapidly hardens into a tough outer shell. Others may stay in the leaf shelter and just be pet there. In these cases, the home in which they grew up becomes the final waiting spot, and these could be remarkably tough, such as the seed of the large-fruited bush willow. The wandering kind mostly finds spots against twigs, like the swallowtails or whites. The little blues that sought shelter with their ant guardians simply stay in the ant's nest until emergence from the pupa. When forced to be still, the best way to avoid predators is to hide in plain sight. Pupae come in all shapes and sizes, and the same species could even have different colored pupae. Some look like little twigs, others like slugs. And how do you spot this brown line sapphire? The adult is strikingly visible, but where is the pupa? And if you think looking like a leaf is great, how about looking like a dewdrop? Shiny, round, and completely innocent. This novice may well get away from a flesh-eating predator, as long as he is not thirsty for water. Butterfly pupae come in incredible shapes and colors: greens, browns, metallic golds, even jewel-like blues, depending on the species and environment. So, now you've seen it. Butterfly juveniles are not just cute. They're resourceful, ingenious, and sometimes a little devious. From camouflage and shelters, to smell bombs and bodyguards, to acting like snakes, or hiring ants. Every stage of their early life is about surviving just long enough to transform into adults, where a whole new set of challenges await. Without these tricks, that already tiny 1% survival rate would be even worse. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And, most of all, invite your friends and family to watch as well. Let's turn the whole world into butterfly lovers. Most people are, they just don't know it yet. If you have not seen our previous videos and would like to learn about how to identify or where to find butterflies, please visit our channel. Remember, if you have comments, please add them. We are really interested to hear what you have to say about this topic. And if you have enjoyed this video, please hit the thumbs up. See you in the next episode.